Hello guys, I welcome you to my channel Let's Graphics and Multimedia, and my name is Rafi Yakub, and in this video guys I'm going to teach you everything you need to understand as far as WordPress dashboard is concerned, how you can get started with WordPress dashboard, and how you can understand some of the important tools we have in WordPress dashboard. Okay, before we get to the tutorial started, if you are very new to this channel, please remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so whenever I upload content about WordPress web design, you get notified and you watch this video. Okay, so lastly but not the least, if you have any question for me as far as the tutorial is concerned, you can put your question in the comment section down below. I will be glad to reply to whatsoever question you might have for me as far as WordPress website design is concerned. So let's get to the tutorial started. So the first thing you need to do is to access your WordPress dashboard. How do you do that? So you just have to make use of your address bar here and type in your website URL, then /WP, then dash, and then admin. Okay, so then you press enter key on your keyboard. All right, so your WordPress login page is going to pop up just like what you see on the screen right here. Now, there are two options by which you can log into your WordPress dashboard. The first option is that you can log into your WordPress dashboard with your username or your email address. So you remember when you are trying to install your WordPress, when you are trying to install your WordPress and from your cpanel, so the email you use then you can use to log into your cpanel, or the username you use to create when you are trying to install your WordPress, you can use it to log into your dashboard then. So now I'm going to enter my username. Now, while you enter your username, you have to move to the next column and type in your password. So you remember the login password you set when you are install your WordPress. So finally, you come here and click on login. So here we go. You can see we have successfully logged into our WordPress dashboard. So there are a lot of things you need to understand as far as this WordPress dashboard is concerned, because if you are, most especially if you are very new to WordPress web design, so you need to understand some of the things, and I'm going to put everything step by step and explain everything you need to understand as far as this place is concerned. Now let's start from the first column here. So the first column here, welcome to the WordPress. We have assumed some links to get you started. Now this place is customize your website, change your theme, and then here is the next step. Write your post, write your first blog post, add an about page, set up your home page, and then fill your website. Then more action, manage widgets, manage menus, turn comment on or off, and learn more about getting started on WordPress. Okay, now before you can do anything, immediately when you install your WordPress, WordPress is going to give you a default web display. Okay, now for us to check our website in a default by WordPress, you can click on here, this place here. When you click on that, this is going to drop down visit site. Click on visit site. So when you click on visit site, this is how it's going to look like, most especially if you just install your WordPress. But never mind, this is just because that this is just to tell you that your WordPress website has been successfully installed, and then the next thing for you is to start to build your website by making use of customize and use some plugin and some theme that we are going to discuss about in the future. Okay, now we can simply go back to our WordPress dashboard by navigate from this place and click on here to go back to WordPress dashboard. So from there, we'll be able to see more tools in our WordPress. So we go back to dashboard. All right, so we are back to the dashboard, so we can start to explain everything you need to understand as far as WordPress is concerned. Here, the first item here is updates. So here, when you have any update, maybe you have a theme update or you have a plugin update, it's going to appear here. So all you have to do is to click on the update and select whatever update you have. Okay. Now the next one here is post. Under this post here, we have all posts, add new categories and tags. So this post section here usually be used. It usually make people that usually make use of this part is the people that post for blog purpose. More, for instance, if you want to post something on your website, you have to add it to your blog post, because blog post is quite different from building up your homepage website. So when we get to that place, to that point, I'm going to explain it in a better way. Now, but on our default website, our default website, our default WordPress website, you notice there are some posts there. Let me quickly create a new tab here. So if I go to my website, this is the website we are working on, right? So if I go to this website, and you see some posts. All right, so these are default posts by WordPress. Now, all these posts was made from the post section. Okay. Now, if I go back to post here, and then I click on all posts. If I click on all posts, you are going to see it from the page. So let's see. So you can see this is the all posts. Now here you can delete. Sorry. So you can edit, you can delete, you can do anything as far as this post is concerned. You can see the category. All this thing has to do with under post. You can see tags, then comments. So the date that it was published. Okay. Now, being in a default, and then this is just a new website entirely, we need to delete all these posts right here. Now, if you want to delete any post, you have to go back to your post section. So when you get to your post section, you can see that we have just one post. Now, for us to delete this post, you have to select. When you select, all the posts we have in this section is going to be automatically linked. So when it's linked, you have to click on here and then choose move to trash. When you choose to move to trash, then you have to come here and click on apply. Now you can see now that no post found. Now we can go back to trash. And we select again, and then we click here again and choose delete permanently. And then we click on delete permanently, or we click on apply. So it's going to delete everything permanently. This is the case this is because this post here is not what we need on our website. We need everything to look fresh, so that we start from the beginning. Okay. Now, if I go back to the page here, and if I refresh this page, you see that all these posts will be vanished. So you can see nothing here. So this is how you modify and delete posts from WordPress dashboard. So let's go back to our dashboard and continue with our stuff. Now we have done with post section. So let's move on to another section as far as WordPress is concerned. So the next one here is media. Okay, so if I click on media, you see under the media we have library and we have add new. So what you can do under media is that you can add pictures, you can add videos. So you can see it here that currently now there is no media found on this page. This is because this is a very new page. But if you want to add any audio track, video clips, and anything that has to do with media, this is where you can add it. But alternatively, you can still add it using software, using a mini software called Elementor to add audio or to add videos to your website. Okay, so but in some cases you can do it from your dashboard here as well. So that is what media works for. Now let's move to page. Now here under the page we have all pages and we have add new. Now under this section, this is where you add home page, about us page, privacy and policy, our services, portfolio, gallery, etc. So this is where you add it. Okay, now if you go to comment, let's move to comment. Under the comment section, this is where you approve or disapprove comment. Okay, so let's say for instance you post a blog post and you have people that comment on your post. Now here you will have to see the statistics of whoever comment on your post. So you can see your personal comment, you can see the pending approval, then you can see the approved comment, and you can see spam and the comments you have trashed, that is the comment you have deleted away. So all these things can be done under the comment section from your dashboard. So if anybody comment on your blog post on your website, this is where you attend to the comment. Okay, now let's move on to next items. So the next thing we have here is appearance. Under the appearance, we have theme, we have customize, we get menu and background, and theme editor. Now for the theme is just something like a ready-made template that describe how your website is going to look like when you are eventually done with your website builder, web design. Okay, now there are a lot of themes. We have paid theme, we have free themes. Everything depends on the industry or the nature of your business or the kind of website you are looking at that will determine the type of theme you are going to use for the design. So under the theme, that is where you can customize, you can work on the widgets, you can add something to your menu, you can change background, you can do whatsoever, you can edit your theme under the appearance. So all these things, we are going to talk more about it in the future when you start to build this website. Okay, so let's move on to plugin. Now under the plugin, a brief overview about plugin is that plugin is a kind of a mini software that make it easy for you to build your website. It make it easy for you to customize your website based on your taste, such as you can add effects, you can add media, you can add icons. With help of different plugins, you can add a lot of things to your website that will make it look more attractive and more user-friendly in such a way that people will think this is not a WordPress website. So these are the work of plugin. And also we have free plugin and we have paid plugin. So all these things depends on your budget and what exactly you are looking at as far as your website is concerned. So the next column here is what we have here is users. Under these users, this is where you can we have add new user, then we have profile. Under this add new, this is where you can add new set of people to manage your website. Maybe you want to hire a developer or you want to hire a web editor that you just want them to do a mining work or a small job from your website. Now you can decide to restrict them from touching some part of your website. So maybe you want somebody to work on your about us. So you can add this person, the developer here, and assign the person to work only on your about us in your web page. So this is done under the users column. Now let's move on to tools. So under the tools, we have available tools: import, export, site head, export personal data, eraser personal data. So this is where you check, you import files, you export files, and then you check your site head status. If your site is fine, you know. If your site is not normal, you will know from this available tool. So let's move on to settings. Now, under these settings here, we have general setting, written, reading, discussion, media, permalinks, and privacy. What most important thing here is your permalinks, because most of written, reading, discussion, and all that, you will have to do all these things in blog posts. Okay, so now when I select permalinks, let me quickly explain detail about what permalinks is all about. Now, under the permalinks here, we have plain and day and name, and we have month and name, we have numeric, we have post name, and we have custom structure. Now, what this simply means is that each time you visit your website or somebody visits your website, the URL that will all these things will determine the URL of the website. Let's say, for instance, I visit one website. Let's say I visit Netherlands. Let me say w.Netherlands. Netherlands.com. All right, so you see this site here is full of a lot of things. Okay, now let's say from this site I'm interested in to know some stuff about politics. So I come here, I select politics from this site. Now you see, when I select politics, what you have here on the URL link is w.netherlands.com/politics. This is the work of permalinks. If you don't set up your permalinks, instead of having the topic or title of the page you visit in a particular website, it will change it to default on the permalinks here. You can see the default here is date sample post. Okay, so instead of having the URL / the topic or the title of the page you are trying to visit, so you have to come back. So for you to set it in a normal way, you have to come back to your permalinks and then make sure that you choose post name. So when you choose post name, this gives you the opportunity that whenever anybody visits your website, maybe the person visits your home page, so it's going to be your URL / home page. So if anybody click on your gallery on your website, it's going to be www.yoururl.com/gallery. So when you choose post name, okay, so when you choose post name, you're going to have the URL / sample post. That's the meaning. So now when you are done with your post name, you can scroll down and come here, click on save changes. All right, so you are done with that. So we can simply go back to our dashboard home page and see one or two things we can still discuss as far as the WordPress interface is concerned. So now you can see we are able to analyze everything about WordPress tools and some plugins, some themes that have that make up the whole WordPress. So all you have to do is to be more familiar with some of the tools, be more familiar with some of the section as far as WordPress page admin is concerned. I hope you guys learn one or two things in this video. If you find value for this video, please give the video a big thumb up, and also don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell for more future tutorial about WordPress website design. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.